Good morning and welcome to Channel 44. I'm Mercy Gashegu Sembatia to bring you this morning's news update live here on Channel 44. I will be joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. We'll start with what's happening around us. Detractors want to kill me, says Mao. Plans to meet Museni over reforms and says no betrayed the opposition. It's all in today's New Vision. And also Prime Minister Nabanja wants UPDF deployed in schools. They bring you a downpour that has paralyzed transport. In Kampala yesterday, there was a heavy downpour and transport was a little paralyzed, especially border riders and different motorists. Also, 3.3 trillion spent on paying foreign debt annually, according to the Bank of Uganda. The court says section on offensive communication is illegal. Freedom City, on the Freedom City saga, Abtex MC granted bail. The prosecution team is arguing that Abem Singuzi, Elvis Francis Juko, and others still at large endangered people's lives by closing the other outlets, leaving one small gate which could not allow over 2,000 people, 20,000 people to move out safely. That is it. We are bringing you from the New Vision and off to the Daily Monitor. Court strikes down offensive speech law. A section of the public is smiling from ear to ear after the Constitutional Court judges yesterday unanimously kicked out Section 25 of the Computer Misuse Act. UNEP to release PLE results next week, and also relief as staff at Cancer Institute call off strike. On the Freedom City saga, Abitex MC released on bail, and also Uganda's Ebola-free status excites tourism operators. Mao says he can't be a midwife alone. Details are in today's Daily Monitor. The Daily Monitor also brings you very many job opportunities and tenders in the papers today. Right now, allow me to take you into today's international news update. I'll now be joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. Will be very brief because of time. The spokesman for the rebel Tigrayan forces in northern Ethiopia says they have handed over their heavy weapons in line with the ceasefire agreement signed in South Africa in November. Getachew Reda wrote on Twitter that the transfer has been confirmed by an African Union monitoring and verification team. The move is central to the agreement, along with services being restored in the war-torn region where hundreds of thousands of people were killed. Another condition is the withdrawal of Eritrean soldiers who fought alongside the Ethiopian government. Reports from Tigray suggest the troops are still there. Moving on, Meta has denied harmful posts will escape review after the contractor running Facebook's main moderator hub for East Africa, Summer, announced it would stop providing content review services to social media platforms. Meta said it had been Summer's decision, and Summer blamed the economic climate. In May, a former moderator who claims the work harmed his mental health sued both firms. Daniel Mwatang says posts he reviewed showed beheadings and child abuse. Mr. Motong, who says he was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, says he was paid about $2.20 an hour for his work. In Europe, Russia's mercenary Wagner Group has claimed control over the town of Soledar in eastern Ukraine, but Kyiv says its soldiers are holding out. Russia's media carried out a statement purported to be the Wagner head, who said Ukrainians were now encircled in the city center. Ukraine's Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar said that heavy fighting is continuing. The claims by both sides have not been independently verified. In the reported statement late yesterday, Mr. Prigozhin said Wagner units took control of the entire territory of Solidar. A cauldron has been formed in the center of the city in which urban fighting is going on. Still about the war in Ukraine, troops will receive training on the Patriot missile system in the U.S. state of Oklahoma, according to American officials. Around 90 to 100 Ukrainian soldiers will arrive from Ukraine at base Fort Sill as soon as next week, according to a confirmation from the Pentagon. The training at Fort Sill, where U.S. artillery troops also train, is expected to take several months. The Ukraine had said the advanced missile defense system will be a game changer in the war with Russia. Last month, during a visit to Washington by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, President Joe Biden announced the U.S. would provide Ukraine with a Patriot missile battery. And Peru's top prosecutor has launched an inquiry into President Dina Boluarte's and Kim minister over weeks of clashes that have left dozens of people dead. The officials are being investigated on charges of genocide, a qualified homicide, and serious injuries. Violence erupted after ex-President Pedro Castillo was arrested in December for trying to dissolve Congress. On Monday, 17 people died in clashes between Castillo supporters and security forces in northeastern Peru. Dozens were injured in the city of Juliaca in what was the worst day of violence so far. Many of the victims had gunshot wounds. And finally, Brazil's judicial authorities have ordered the arrest of top public officials after rioters stormed key government buildings in Brasilia. One official, the former commander of the military police, has been arrested according to local media. The forces also include Brasilia's former public security chief, Anderson Torres, and others responsible for acts and omissions leading to the riots, according to the Attorney General's office. Mr. Torres denies any role in the riots. Colonel Fabio Augusto, the police commander, was dismissed from his role after supporters of ex-President Jair Bolsonaro stormed Congress, the Presidential Palace, and the Supreme Court. Well, that brings us to the end of this morning's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you that we are having revival services every evening here at the Miracle Center Cathedral. Lately, there has been dream interpretation, and I believe it's still going on. Come and join us. Your life will not remain the same again. The Pastors Now program is up next, and do not miss it. We'll meet again at 12:45. God bless you and good morning.